Hello, 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 hello. Check, 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 check. Hello, 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 hello. Check, 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 check. Hello, hello, hello. Yo. What's up, Conrad? You're like always one of the first people here. I put together a little bit of a little layout overlay thing. My old one is on my old hard drive, so I just made a new one. Let me send out. Make sure this tweet's sent out. Word, I assume you probably had the notification on. Yeah, I wish that I could stream at a convenient time for everybody, but I guess that's not possible. So I just stream it at a convenient time for me, and hopefully people can watch. Terry Weaver, hello. So back into the groove of things, I believe. Streaming every week. It's probably going to be on Mondays from now on, as I mentioned last stream. I guess this... Hold on, that's too big, I think. I think the names are too big in the chat. I think I can change that. How do I do this? Chat box. Hold on. There it is. Channel names. Why is it so big? It doesn't even seem like it would be that big. Font size. I guess it's just because of the. Let's just try that. All right. What's up, Eternal Pessimist? I'm so glad you've been able to post more lately. I miss your content. I don't watch live streams in general a whole lot though. Yeah, I'm gonna try to get back into the groove of posting regular content because I think I got everything settled. I got my computer up and running. I got sort of my filming strategy. I want to do a lot of stuff, but we'll see what I actually end up doing. Because I can procrastinate sometimes. Like I want to get my second channel back up and running, and I want to get my gaming channel back up and running. I want to stream more. I want to stream some games on Twitch, and I want to make sure that I keep doing this stream. And you know, there's no reason that I shouldn't do it, because I mean, this is like basically my job, so it's really just all about how much time I put into it. That's like the cool thing about this kind of job. It's literally you get out of it what you put into it. So, you know, if you work really hard and make a lot of stuff, you usually see the return or the reward for it. How was the lake and fungus? Well, I went to the beach. Is that what you're talking about? I've been to the lake before. I went to the lake maybe like a month ago or a couple months ago. But this past week I went to the beach. And it was awesome. I don't really like swimming or bodies of water, but I love going to the beach. It's just a very, very like relaxing atmosphere. Just makes you feel good. Yeah, I guess you're thinking of when I said I was going to the beach, but I did go to the lake not too long ago. Wish most jobs were like that. Yep, that's a big problem. And that's why I've always been bad at normal jobs, and I'm very lucky that I get to pursue something that's actually rewarding for me. I go to the beach to drink with my friends. Yeah, same. I mean, there's definitely a lot of that going on. In fact, I probably drank too. Well, I definitely drank too much. This is something that I realize now. Like I've gotten pretty good at not like just not drinking too much. Like back in the day, I drank all the time. Like I went to the bar like every day and just got wasted. Because you know I was young and my body could handle it. My body definitely can't handle that anymore. So I'm usually pretty good about not drinking too much. But when I go on vacation like that, where I'm just like, I go out of town and I'm like secluded in a house with friends and, no one, not in public, basically. Sometimes I just go way too hard, and I definitely pay for it for the next like week or so. And that's kind of what happened at the beach. But it was fun the day of. What do you think of the story of the guy shot by the policewoman in his own home? It's hard for me to imagine how anyone would disagree that that's a just fucked up situation that shouldn't have happened, and there's definitely something fishy about the whole thing. This is the thing that we're starting to realize. It's almost like these things keep happening just to prove to people that the things that they say are nonsense. Like, there's always this idea of, if you just don't break the law and you comply with what the officers say, and if you're respectful, then you won't get shot. But there's so many stories coming out where it just, none of that even applies. It's like you can't even stay in your own home. That's where we're at right now. I watched your BLM video again recently. Did anyone ever take up your challenge to prove that there were more violent protests than nonviolent ones? Nope. This is the thing I've realized about a lot of these arguments. They're just like very clearly disingenuous and not based on anything or any facts. So a lot of people just sort of like, they have these views, and the only reason they have the views that they have is because they feel like they're supposed to. They're not actually like based on any like facts or reason or anything they thought about. And this happens on both sides or all sides. But when it comes to things like that, there are people that are just like, well, I have to oppose anything that remotely resembles social justice. So I have to oppose Black Lives Matter, regardless of any actual factual information or anything like that. So when you actually challenge them to back up what they say, they really have nothing because it's not based on anything. I find it interesting hearing about your views on the police. It's so different from mine. I'm from the Netherlands. Yeah, the police system in America is, I think it's a little bit wilder than in a lot of other countries. And I mean, that's for various reasons. I mean, I'm not an expert on it, but there's a lot of things going on here. Are you excited for Smash Ultimate? Hell yeah. I gotta get a Switch. I don't have a Switch yet. I feel like you're supposed to feel safe around police, not the other way around. Yeah, in theory. I mean, the phrase that people like to use in America is protect and serve. I don't know if they use that in other countries. The police are supposed to protect and serve, but they definitely don't do that. That's not not even when they're not like harming people or threatening people. Just in general, that's just never been the function of the police. Well, I don't know about never, but it definitely hasn't been for a long time. The police are basically just like henchmen for the government. Electric Low Main, thank you for the $5 super chat. Yo, T1J, it's your boy. My first question is, how are you doing today? I'm doing well. I am very well. I just ate a big breakfast, which is good because I usually forget to eat before streaming, and by the time I'm done streaming, I'm just like super fucking hungry. So I actually ate before streaming this time. So I feel good. Got my water. Terrorize and regulate. Yeah. Gotta play Mario Odyssey. Yeah, I've played Mario Odyssey with some friends, and that game is amazing. I mean, it's probably like the best Mario game ever. What do you think of Blair White's? What do you think of Blair White doing less political videos? She's sort of, but not really, exposed right-wing speakers, not really believing the stuff they spew. I mean, whatever. I don't really follow Blair White that much anymore, so I have no idea what she's up to. Those super chat notifications come in late. I don't think there's anything I can do about that, though. But yeah. It was very clear to me, and probably most other people, that Blair White was just sort of, she was just pandering to the audience, especially in certain situations. So I very quickly stopped paying attention to her. And also, she was just like, for a while, she was just one of my least favorite members of the whole sort of anti-feminist crowd, because she was just like, just a dick, like, just really like a bully, and just had no sense of shame or empathy, and it was really frustrating to watch. Can I get a water though? I mean, if I could give you one, I would. I hope you have access to water. The Neil deGrasse video is at 10K. I think it might have a chance to be up there in terms of views. We'll see. I think what's happening is I just think my average viewership has gone up since my subscriber count has gone up. Because the last video, the racism video, got about 10K as well. So I think that the average views per video, I think, is going to be higher now, just as a baseline, just because there's more people here, which is good. But we'll see, because it's cool that the videos keep getting views, because I feel like in the past, a video would get like all its views in like the first 2 or 3 days, and then it would just completely drop off. But now it seems like videos still get views, like, you know, even like the next week and stuff. And I think that's just because YouTube has changed their algorithm. I think YouTube shows older videos to people more now. Yeah, the Riley Dennis videos. Yeah, I think she was a big, well, she definitely was a big part of the sort of dogpiling and bullying that Riley Dennis had to endure, and probably still endures. Hey, just wanted to say, I'm currently writing or trying to write a young adult book about a 20-something atheist skeptic who works at her parents' metaphysical shop. She tries to bring nuance and kindness into the skeptical area on the internet. On a blog she writes, and your videos have been quite inspiration for this character. That's pretty cool. I like that idea. I've been seeing many older videos. Don't worry, I'm really, really bad at typing. Anybody who follows me on Twitter knows that how bad at typing I am. Pretty much all of my tweets have some kind of spelling or grammatical mistake in them. Your video on Sam Harris was great. I appreciate it. It generated a little bit of a buzz. That's pretty cool. Whoops. Do you guys think that there's too much stuff on the screen, or is it okay? Is it like too busy? What's up, chocolate diet? Man, thank you for $3. I took off the type to text because it seemed like a bit much, but let's see what your message is. Or text to talk or whatever, where it reads the message. So you are at 99K. Are you planning something for 100K? That milestone is big for me since I've been following you for quite some time. I hope we can participate in the celebration somehow. Yeah, I'm not sure what I should do for 100K subscribers. What do you guys think I should do? I'm not really sure. Maybe I'll do like a 12-hour live stream or something. I don't know if that would be... I feel like most people wouldn't care about that. Only a few people would actually care. Maybe the font of the chat looks a bit busy, but that's all. Word. Yeah, I see what you mean. I might change the font. So we ain't good enough for your fancy set. You go do the videos in the set. When we come around, we still chill in the room. Well, I have to stream. I have to stream while connected to my computer, and my computer is in a different room than the set. So just found the channel, the Sam Harris. Excellent, thank you. Sometimes I think my evolving views, a similar journey to yours, toward one tempered a bit by kindness. Nice to see nuance out there. I appreciate that. Yeah, but I've gotten a lot of messages similar to that, and that's pretty awesome. It's interesting because, you know, I just sort of made that video, and I honestly did not expect so many people to feel the same way. Like, honestly, I thought that the reaction would be like half people are like, fuck Sam Harris, the dude's evil, and the other half would be Sam Harris fanboys that came in and just yelled at me. But there was a lot of people who were just very thoroughly sort of understood where I was coming from and sort of went through a similar thing. So that was cool to see. ASMR Q&A for 100K. Maybe. 100K followers meet up with us in WoW. I would do that, but I don't think that there's enough people that play WoW that are my subscribers. Do a charity Twitch stream. That's something I could do. Go camping in a blizzard. I think it would be hard to find a blizzard right now without heavy travel. I think Sam Harris is closet neocon racist and tool of the military industrial combat. See, I felt like there was gonna be more opinions like that. So you eat your favorite Jimmy John sandwich, watch wrestling, and play some old school Outcast for the 100K. Well, I would certainly enjoy that. I don't know how much other people would. I might be a little late, but what's the word on the horse's name on the desk? I don't know. There's been some suggestions in the comments. I think I'm gonna give it a few days, and then go back to the comment section and see what got the most likes. Someone suggested that the horse be named Heiko, which seems fitting, but we'll see. I think I'm gonna probably just take a few of the most suggested ones and then just put it to a vote, like a poll or something. So if you want to like see what other people have suggested, just go to the comments of my last video and drop a thumbs up on the ones that you like, or suggest one and see if you get some thumbs ups. 'Did you see how triggered PJW and Romy Millennial were when the Black Panther came out? I think I saw something about Paul Joseph Watson talking about it. I didn't see what Romy Millennial had to say. I don't like. I've said this before, but I don't keep up with these people anymore. Like, I really feel like they're not worth my nor your attention. But I mean, I can understand why they might be entertaining to you. But they just sort of frustrate me and decrease the quality of my life. So I don't really follow them. $100K follower horse naming stream. I could do that, but I think that I want the horse to be named before that happens, because it's probably still going to be like around a month before I hit 100K followers, unless I get a really big boost in the next couple weeks. Because I mean, my subscriber count is growing, but it's growing pretty slow. Like, I'm getting maybe around 20 subscribers a day, 20, sometimes like 30, 40, 50, but I think the average is like 20 or 30 right now, which I'm okay with. Like, during the when the Sam Harris video came out, there was a big boost, and I got like several thousand new subscribers. But that has definitely slowed down, and a lot of it is my fault because well, not my fault, but it's because my computer died like right after making that video, so I wasn't really able to sort of ride the wave of momentum. Do you think the fate of the alt-right foreshadow the future of the Trump administration? What do you mean? What is the fate of the alt-right? Do we know the fate of the alt-right? Has that happened? I mean, I don't know. I would like to think that the alt-right is going to retreat back into the shadows eventually. But the problem is in terms of Trump administration, not just Trump administration, but just like the conservative establishment and the Republicans and their their financial backers. They're really good at grabbing and keeping power. So they've been dissolved widely. Yeah, I mean, I guess I have just not been paying attention. Uh, it does seem like they're a lot quieter than they were. But you never know with these kids, man. They're like on 4chan plotting something as we speak, I'm sure. But the thing is, like, we still, even if the alt right has dissolved, we still have like the regular right to to deal with. And I think that part of the success of the alt right was helping to normalize uh, far right, helping to basically push the Overton window even more to the right. If I told you the banana pudding ice cream was a thing, super cheap at Walmart, and like eating pure raw happiness, what would you say to that? Sounds good to me. I like banana pudding. I don't think I've ever had banana pudding ice cream though. I'm kind of picky about ice cream though. Like there's only a few flavors that I really, really like. Like, I mean, I'll eat ice cream if it's there, but I never just want random ice cream flavors. Like I really love cookies and cream flavored ice cream. I think that's by far the best flavor. And then I just like vanilla. But beyond that, it gets very specific. Like I don't like chocolate ice cream. I don't like strawberry ice cream. I don't like anything with mint. I don't like butter pecan. Thoughts on Lindsay Ellis's new video? Your YouTube experience. The video is amazing. I mean, I think it's like my favorite Lindsay Ellis video. And it's interesting to me seeing stuff like that. And it's also just like seeing Lindsay Ellis. Like, Lindsay Ellis has been doing well on YouTube for a while, but she very recently just kind of started to blow up a lot more, like a lot quicker than before. And it's interesting to see sort of her reaction to that. But when I watch stuff like that, it definitely makes me think of my own sort of YouTube trajectory. And I've talked about this before. I talked about this on Twitter the other day, but like I've tried so many different like YouTube things, and I've like done all kinds of research about, you know, the best practices, how to make thumbnails, how to title your videos, how to tag your videos, just all kind of stuff like that. Like how long to make your videos, what time of day should you upload your videos. And it's really easy to get caught up in stuff like that. And especially if you see all of these successful channels and you see that they're all like doing the same shit. They're like, you know, they have their thumbnails all look the same and their titles are like in all caps and clickbait, and they all do the thing where they tell you to smash that like button And it's like, well, maybe that's what you're supposed to do because these people are successful and that's what they do. But I think the rules are different after a certain level. Like after you hit a certain um, level of reach, I think the rules change. And I think that it's a mistake for like smaller people like me and even Lindsay Ellis. I think it's a mistake for people like us to try to emulate what those like huge channels are doing. Because all those channels, the way that they got noticed, the way that they got their first big break was definitely not from fucking screaming smash that like button and making crazy thumbnails. Like that applies to almost no one. The way that you get noticed is just by making good content, just literally just making good videos. And I think that that's what people at the lower level need to focus on. I think that, you know, I think especially when people are first starting, they're like wondering like, why don't I have any subscribers? What do I do? As if there's like some kind of magic pill or magic thing you can do to get subscribers. But really what you do is you just make good videos. Just make good videos and keep making good videos until people start watching them. Do you think the right grows out into its own sphere of ideology because it's more unified, even going out to the far reaches? Like the left is skeptical of itself in different severities. Well, I think that's definitely true that the right is more unified. And I don't necessarily know if that's a good or bad thing, but the right is definitely, like I always say, the right is better at strategy than the left. And part of that strategy is accepting people as their allies, even if they don't agree with them on everything. And the right is very strategic about this usually. Like they'll even accept people on the left as their allies. In fact, that sort of helps them when they do that. Have I ever done the political compass test? I have. There's a video on my second channel where I go through it. I mean, I ended up with like libertarian left, just like everybody else that does it. That's kind of a joke, but it's also kind of not a joke. Is making your title all capital letters actually a useful thing? I think that it used to be when it was novel, but now everybody does it, and it's no longer novel. And in fact, I think a lot of people find it annoying nowadays. But YouTube recently put out a video on like they have I forget what it's called, but they have a channel where they like tell you about behind the scenes YouTube stuff, and they put out a channel, or they put out a video saying that all caps titles actually do not perform better than regular titles. So my theory is that it used to work back when it was not everybody was doing it. What I say though, try all lowercase titles. See, no, not too many people are doing that, and it stands out. I think you might get some views with that. Jordan Peterson, Sam Harris, Ben Shapiro, and Dave Rubin are overrated. I agree. Make good videos and post them on every subreddit you can justify. Don't do that, because I did that when I first started. I guess to be fair, the videos weren't very good back then. But I did that, and I got shadow banned from Reddit for a while for fucking spamming. I think something about your videos that you tend to be very nuanced and say I don't know when you're generally not sure what position to take. And I think that draws less attention than people who take really harsh positions. Well, yeah, of course. trust me, I'm like 99% sure that I could have went down. I could have went like full anti SJW and just been one of those people. Like it's something that could have happened, and I probably would have way more subscribers if I did that. Especially being a black dude, because they love when someone who is a minority is on their side. On the flip side, I could have went full on, you know, I don't want to say SJW, but I could have went full on into that side, because, you know, I made friends with a lot of people who are like super into the like very aggressive leftism on YouTube. But the thing is, a lot of times they leave out the nuance themselves, and I could have did that too. And I think that would have worked out for me as well, but it just wasn't really true to what I wanted to do. But that was sort of one of the struggles of my channel, is trying to figure out exactly what, you know, where I'm coming from and who my target audience is, because I don't, you know, I've often been described as like a middle of the road or moderate, but I don't really agree that I am. Because it's important to me to have a stance, and if you watch my videos, I always do have a stance, and my stances pretty much always tend to lean towards the progressive side. But you can't leave out the context, and you can't leave out the nuance, and that's really important to me. But I don't want to be perceived as a centrist. Like if people think I'm a centrist, then I'm doing something wrong, because I'm definitely not one. But the thing is, I mean, my argument is, like, there's a phrase that people on the left like to say, is like the truth has a liberal bias, or the truth has a left bias, and I think that that's true. I think the left is just right more often, and that's why my videos tend to favor the left a lot of the time. But, you know, obviously not everybody agrees with that, and I'm happy to have discussions about it. But you're right in that nuance. Is the sound okay, by the way? I keep like peaking. I'm talking too loud apparently, but if it sounds okay, then that's fine. It's definitely true that nuanced videos don't tend to get the same traction, as we can very well see. I mean, that's the reason why you know, people like Sargon of Akkad and Shiwan Head have more subscribers than, you know, Riley Dennis and Marina Shut Up. But we're seeing a resurgence of intelligent, nuanced videos and people that are doing well right now. So I think we're coming over the hump now. Like people like ContraPoints and H Bomber Guy and Sean, and, you know, we're seeing people like 3 Arrows starting to rise up. So I think this is a renaissance for a thoughtful leftist content. I found you through the Why White People Can't Say the N-Word video. Still gold. Well, I'm glad you liked it. I hate that video now. It's so old and bad, but it still gets a lot of views. I gotta comment on Contra's videos more, because apparently a lot of people find me just from reading the comments. Why do I hate it? Because it's old and bad. Such a bad video. I mean, the ideas in it are okay, I guess. I don't remember exactly what I say. I assume that I would probably say things different now because it was a long time ago, but I think that I still agree with everything I say in it. But just the video itself is bad. You excited for a new video today/tomorrow? I didn't even know there was a new video, but I'll watch it for sure. I found you through the soy stream on ContraPoint's channel. Awesome. Yeah, actually, I think I got like a few hundred subscribers after that. Are you Spider-Man? Nope, I wish. I kind of feel it's kind of cool seeing the rise of ContraPoints because someone showed me ContraPoints maybe when she had like less than 10,000 subscribers, and I was like, yo, this channel is amazing. And I gave her a shout out on my channel because I was like, people need to go see this person. And then very shortly after that, she started blowing up and left me in the dust. And now she's like sending subscribers to me. So it's kind of like a full circle type thing. It's mostly even if you don't have any racist intent, the fact that you're saying it could offend, hurt someone makes you an asshole for choosing to use it. Yeah, I mean, I still basically agree with that. I think I would say more about it now, but I mean, that is the most basic reason why white people shouldn't say the N-word. I think there are more reasons than that, but that is a good enough reason. It's just, I don't know. A lot of times in these arguments, I wonder if people are being genuine or just being disingenuous. Like I made a post recently about Tina Fey and how frequently she uses racial humor. I don't know if you guys noticed this. Have you guys noticed how frequently Tina Fey uses like race humor? And especially on 30 Rock, the show 30 Rock, there are so many race jokes on that show. It's like kind of absurd. And I didn't even really think about it when I watched it for the first time. But when you go back and watch that show, there are so many race jokes, especially black jokes. There's so many black jokes. And then, you know, I don't think it's not necessarily racist, but it's like, that's so weird that this fucking white lady feels like she has the right to make so many race jokes. Anyway, I made that that comment, and someone was like, "Well, what is the difference between that and someone like Chris Rock making white jokes, or someone like, you know, a black comedian making jokes about white people?" And I'm like, "Is that a serious question? Like, do you really not know the difference?" Like, I wonder sometimes, are people just like willingly ignorant, or is that an honest question? Because that's such a ridiculous question. Like, what's it? Do you really not know the difference? Yeah, Kimmy Schmidt also has this weird like Native American subplot. Like that's like a really big part of like, I think the first 2 seasons. So I always get a little frustrated in these conversations because I was like, I really don't feel like being trolled by people that are just being willingly ignorant. But if someone really has a genuine question, then I want to respond to it. But it's like, you should understand this by now, dude. Yeah, I mean, every show has multiple writers. I really doubt that Tina Fey wrote every single joke on 30 Rock. In fact, it's impossible that she did. But it's her work, and her name is on it, and she's the showrunner, so she has to approve everything. So, I don't think it's a coincidence that there was just so much consistent racial humor on that show. Like she obviously wanted the show to be like that. Who's my favorite Beatle? Paul McCartney, I guess. I like John Lennon's songs more overall, but John Lennon was just like kind of a weirdo. Paul McCartney is pretty cool. And also Paul McCartney songs were good too. But I think most of the songs that are my favorite Beatles songs are probably John Lennon songs. I don't watch 30 Rock enough to know about that. What kind of jokes? I mean, there's tons of jokes. I don't want to just like list jokes. You just have to watch it, I guess. I mean, I guess the most obvious things are like the two main black characters on the show, which is Tracy Morgan's character, Tracy Jordan, who is basically like a stereotype of just like a rich black celebrity from the hood who's like really stupid and like just spoiled and rich. Sort of like a parody of like rich rappers and rich athletes and stuff like that. And then there's the character Twofer, which is like the parody of the sort of well-spoken but like still like pro-black dude. And it's like the joke is it's funny because they're black. That's like the joke. Like there's a joke they did where the joke was Black Frasier, where it's something like there's a show that they tried to make called Black Frasier, and literally then they cut to just like the show Frasier, except all the characters are black, and they just do like a regular scene, like something that would be on Frasier, and just the whole joke was, it's funny because they're black, because you don't expect the characters of Frasier to be black, so that's the joke. And it's just like there's just like a lot of bizarre jokes like that where the punchline is blackness. And then, you know, I think they do similar things for other races and other people, but I just noticed that they do it like a shit ton. It's a traditional "what do you think of Jordan Peterson" question happened yet. Not yet. Someone mentioned Jordan Peterson, but they didn't ask me that. Donald Glover wrote the Black Frasier one. Yeah, I mean, I don't know who wrote each individual joke, but it's just like a trend throughout the show. It like after hearing me say this, if you watch 30 Rock, just watch it normally, you will probably be very conscious of how often it happens now. Because it's solid throughout the whole show from the beginning to the end. And I don't say this to be some kind of indictment of Tina Fey, because I'm actually a big fan of Tina Fey. I think she's brilliant. But it's interesting, and I think it's worth remarking on. And it's sort of like a trend throughout Tina Fey's whole career. Like, you know, there's jokes in Kimmy Schmidt. She wrote several SNL sketches that dealt with race. Like, I think that a lot of it is um is sort of her way to deal with her discomfort as a white person who uh sort of knows that they have these implicit biases, so they sort of lampoon that. Because the thing about it is, most of the time, um most of the time when she does racial humor, it's it's not like it's not like at the expense of black people per se. In fact, often it's at the expense of white people. But the fact is there's so much of it, and there's so much where race is the punchline. I think that's just really unusual. I mean, even if you go as far back to the movie Mean Girls, like there's racial humor in that movie. You can't just ask someone why they're white. Do you think we could get rid of racism by meeting aliens, nationalism, disintegrating into planetary discrimination? I don't understand that sentence. Are you saying that we could get rid of racism by just being racist to aliens instead of each other? Well, I don't think that would work because we already tried nationalism. You know, like that we've tried to unite the country against the Nazis and the Russians and the Chinese, but we were still racist against each other at the same time. So I don't see why it would happen with aliens. Doo-doo-doo. I got some stickers. Patrons get stickers. This is the most recent one. You get like different designs every few months. This one's all right. It reminds me of Lisa Frank. That's kind of what I was going for. Do you think that we could push the idea that racism is actually complexionism and is devoid of any logic? Well, I don't know. I mean, when you have formed a worldview or a belief system that's not based on logic, it seems unlikely that an appeal to logic is going to make you stop. Is going to make you change your mind. Filling out applications while watching. Wish me luck. Good luck, my friend. That is one of the things that I miss the least about having normal job is job applications and job interviews. I wish to never have to do one of those ever again. Do you think people who claim to be classical liberals are closet racists? I don't know. I don't really want to try and read someone's heart or what they believe in private. Like, there's no way for me to know that. And a lot of times people have shitty beliefs that are contradictory to their own values, but they still believe them. So, I mean, it's possible for someone to, you know, be a conservative or a right winger without being racist, even though they support an ideology that, you know, furthers, basically furthers the white supremacy. And not only white supremacy, but male supremacy. I'm trying to think of some good rewards for my patrons. I have the stickers, and for higher supporters, I have t-shirts. I had some people that were signed up for it, but currently have no one signed up for that tier, which is fine because it's a lot of money. And also, when I hit 100,000 subscribers, I get access to the sponsor button, which you may have seen on other channels. And then I'll have to think of rewards for that as well. But it's kind of weird having the sponsor button when you already have a Patreon. But, I mean, I guess you might as well use it. Did I watch the Penn and Teller bullshit series? I did. I don't think I've seen every single episode, but I did watch a lot of it. It's a great show. Why not make it the same as Patreon rewards? It just depends on how it works. I have to see how it works. Like, for example, for stickers, I need like a shipping address. And so Patreon has an option for when people sign up, they can put their shipping address. I don't know if YouTube is going to do that. And I don't think I'm going to go ask every individual like what their shipping address is. My Patreon, patreon.com/the1janitor. There should be a link in the description of this video. To get the stickers, you have to do $10 a month or more, though. But there are other things. I was thinking of honestly, I would like to give stickers to everybody, or at least to like the $5 tier. But the thing is, it costs me money to produce the stickers. So I need to limit it in some way. But maybe in the future. Like, to me, that's probably the best thing that I can do. That's like an actual tangible reward that people might want is to do free merch. But it's not free to produce free merch, so I have to figure out the best way to do that. If you do $5, you do get a discount on my merch if you would like that. I love bullshit, but towards the end, they came with a new excuse to show nudity. I mean, I don't have a problem with nudity. For 100K followers, you should buff a floor at a public school like a janitor might. Well, that would seem complicated because I would have to gain access to a public school and access to a buffer machine. And also, that sounds exhausting. It doesn't sound that fun. It sounds like work. I don't know. I might do a giveaway. That's another thing I can do. Actually, I think I might do that, actually. In addition to whatever else. I'll probably do a giveaway at 100,000 subscribers. Give away some merch. The idea of the charity stream seemed pretty cool. Let me see when. According to Social Blade, I should hit 100,000 in. Wait, what? That doesn't seem right. It says 2 days, but that seems wrong. I think it's gonna be about a month. If things stay this steady, it should be about a month or so before I hit 100K. But you never know. I mean, I might get a boost. What charity did I have in mind? I don't really know. I haven't actually done a lot of research about charities recently. My go-to charity has always been ACLU, but that might be contentious for some people because of the way the ACLU operates. Sometimes they defend bad people, which I understand, but it would be better just to find a charity that is just completely innocuous and that everybody can appreciate, like Save the Children or some shit. How's the decor going along? Like for the set? For my set, I need to find something to, because if you notice, like the left side of the set is a little bit barren, so I need to find some stuff to put there. I think I'm gonna put a poster on the wall or something on the wall. I was thinking of like, letting people send me stuff to put on the set and put on the wall. But I've been saying for literally like 5 years that I was gonna open up a PO box, but I just never did it. I don't even know if people are still even interested in sending me stuff. Like, because a few years ago, I had a lot of people that were like, I want to send you something. Can you open up a P.O. box? And they're like, yeah, I'll do it. And I never did. But I might do that and just let people like send me decorations and stuff, and maybe even some solid things I can put on the shelf or something. But that's the next thing. I'm going to pop some bottles when you get to 100K. Yeah, maybe I'll just do a drunk stream. I'll take a page out of ContraPoint's book and just get fucking wasted on stream. I love watching the I think the stream, it was like ContraPoints and Theron Meyer did a couple of streams where they just get fucking wasted. Like by the end of the stream, they're both just like fucking destroyed. It's hilarious. Southern Poverty Law Center. See, that's another one that's kind of contentious. Because they do like their sort of like right wing watch, and a lot of times they're not, I feel like they're not all the way they don't like thoroughly research what they're doing sometimes. Did you hear about the Norm Macdonald controversy? I'm not sure if I did. Maybe you can give prints of art for Patreon. It should be cheaper than printing a design on a shirt or a mug. I mean, yeah. I mean, I guess I could make some art. I mean, that's kind of like what the stickers are. And they're pretty cheap to make. But the thing is, when you have like 200 people that want one, that's when it that's when it adds up. One day when I get everything stable and once I'm like financially good, I want to do a lot of stuff. I want to give away a lot of stuff and make stuff for people. Like maybe I'll do a giveaway every live stream, stuff like that. Like I want to do stuff like that. I just can't really afford to do it right now. But one day. Why do all leftist YouTubers seem alcoholic? Well, I don't know. I think it's probably I don't want to say something that is just made up speculation, but it may be true that people because I think part of what makes people become leftists is realizing that the world is fucked up and needs to be fixed. And another result of realizing that the world is fucked up is poor mental health. And one way that people deal with poor mental health is by drinking alcohol. So that could be part of it. But also, I think that everybody drinks alcohol. I mean, not everybody, but I mean, it's very, very common for young people to drink alcohol. Like, that's just a thing that I think extends beyond your political affiliation. Also, it's funny. I think that's part of it too. Like being drunk is funny, and joking about drinking and substance abuse is funny. Norm was called by Roseanne and told her she should talk to Louis C.K. as he's going through a similar thing. Someone asked him, what about the victims? And he said they aren't going through that. It was construed as they didn't go through as bad as Louis C.K. Yeah, I remember reading something about that. Yeah, he did an interview or something. I really think that that's a pretty tone-deaf response. Saying they aren't going through that, like, that's a pretty tone-deaf response, like, you have to admit. But, I mean, I don't think that... I think there's probably a lot of people that actually don't drink. But they just don't talk about it. I know that Brittany Simon doesn't drink. That's another leftist YouTuber that's pretty popular. I want to say that Riley and Fiona don't drink, or at least they drink rarely, but I could be wrong about that. Yo, how was that camping trip? Camping trip? Are you talking about the beach? I went to the beach. Did nobody pay attention last time I said I was going to the beach? Someone said, how was the lake? And then someone said, how's the camping trip? I was like, I don't know. I definitely didn't go on a camping trip. If I said that, I misspoke for sure. But I did go to the beach from last Sunday to last Thursday, and it was amazing. It was great. I love going and vacationing with friends. It's awesome. It's like my favorite thing. Oh, well, I mean, Terry, you might be talking about the time that I actually did go to the lake, because I did go to the lake about a month ago. But I streamed last week and talked about going to the beach, so I wasn't sure which one you guys were referring to. But yeah, I did go to the lake a month ago. I think about a month ago, and it was fun. Crazy Jerry Mouse. Hi, bye. Love your work. Appreciate it. Thanks for stopping by. I'm probably going to end the stream in about like 30 minutes or so, depending on how active the chat is. What's up, Steven? From the south, got no accent, don't know why. You mean me? Play the new Spider-Man game. I have not. I'd like to. I don't own a console, or I don't own a recent console, so I can't really play any of the new games. Also, I'm poor, so it's hard to justify buying games a lot of the time, because I need to know that I'm going to get my money's worth and I'm going to play it. So I rarely buy new games. I pay for WoW though, so I guess I can't complain about spending too much on games. I hate filling out skills and qualifications on applications. Yeah, it's all nonsense. I hate it. It's so unnatural and dumb. but the job interview is even worse, even more unnatural and dumb. I'm thinking about. I was thinking about streaming some WoW later. I don't know if I'm gonna do that though. Who do you think is better at social media, The Rock or Will Smith? Well, I think The Rock is definitely better at it, as is evidenced by how popular he is on social media. I really like Will Smith's YouTube channel though. It's actually pretty good. Have I done BFA content? I haven't done much in-game content. I just mainly focused on getting 2 characters to 120, and I did it at a very leisurely pace. I just wanted to get 1 alliance and 1 horde character to max level so I can play with whoever I needed to. And now I'm like actually I've been getting into just gold making, but I'm probably gonna start getting into raiding here pretty soon. I think I'm gonna raid on one and do PvP on the other one, and eventually I'll level up some other characters. Do you plan on making vids constantly again, or are you burnt out? Yeah, I mean, I definitely plan on making videos. I mean, this is my job, so I even if I am burnt out, I will still do it because it's my job. But it's hard to get burnt out. I feel like there's no excuse to get burnt out because it's like the best job you could possibly have. I mean, if I take a break, I've taken breaks before. You know, if I need to take a break, like a couple weeks or a month or something, I'll do that. But I'll never just like stop making videos. At least not anytime soon. If I stream WoW, it will be on my Twitch channel, so you guys should follow me on Twitch, twitch.tv/theonejanitor. I'll probably I'll send out a notification on the community tab of my YouTube channel. If you guys are signed up for notifications, you should get those. Ever think about the world in the context that we are animals, like how we pave roads and sidewalks that are uncomfortable to bare feet but nice to cars and shoes? Yeah, I mean, I definitely get into thoughts like that. It's definitely interesting to think about things like that, like just the way that we've socialized and built a civilization. But it's impossible to think about that without just keeping in mind that just how advanced we are compared to other animals. I have no faction loyalty in WoW. If I had to pick one, I would probably pick Alliance just because I think their character models look cooler. But just in terms of like the lore of the game, I think they're both dumb. Or at least they're both equally sympathetic and unsympathetic at times. So I have no lore loyalty, but I like how the Alliance characters look better for the most part. Whenever I make a horde character, I always make a blood elf, or it's maybe a female orc, but I just think they all look so dumb. I don't want to be like a grotesque monster. I want to be like a hero. What's your opinion on non-aggressive principle and the idea that making the law making that the law, a law that applies to all equally. Well, the problem with non-aggression principle is the definition of what constitutes harm or what constitutes aggression. And I think that most people who actually unironically use the term non-aggression principle probably differ with them as to what constitutes harm or aggression. Like, you know, the same people that talk about non-aggression principle are the people that say things like taxation is theft. And to me, the phrase taxation is theft is absurd. Like, it's comical. So dumb as in they don't fit my ideologies, not dumb as in the story is poorly written. No, I don't think the story is poorly written at all. I love this story. And I think it's intentional to where that both sides are sympathetic and unsympathetic in many ways. I think that certain races are cooler than others. Like, I think the humans and the orcs are both dumb. But I like night elves. Like, lore-wise, I like the night elves. But I also like the Tauren. But I would never play a Tauren because they look stupid. And there's certain characters that are really cool. Like Thrall he's like amazing. And like fucking I like Anduin. You know, Illidan is really cool. So there's characters on both factions that are really cool. And then there's characters that are not that cool. I don't agree that taxation is taken without consent. And I don't even know if I think that that's a good definition of theft to begin with. I like the dwarves, but again, I would never play a dwarf because they look stupid. I think I have a dwarf that, like, back in the day, I just made a lot of different races just to see what they were like. But these days, I'm pretty like stingy and strict about what I play. Like, I pretty much only play humans, night elves, blood elves, and maybe orcs. That's like pretty much it. I just want a regular looking person, basically, is what I'm saying. I mean, it is interesting if you do have, like, I used to play WildStar, which is a surprisingly good MMO for those that haven't played it. But in WildStar, there's two factions, and one faction is unambiguously evil. Like, that's just the evil side. And I think that's an interesting take on the whole faction thing. Because, you know, some people like the idea of being evil. Or, you know, like, you know, there's MMOs like the old City of Heroes and DC Universe where you can literally play a villain. So any of the allied races appeal to you? Yeah, I like the ones that look like night elves. Like, I like the Void Elves and I like the Nightborn. Or the Void. Did I say Void Elves? I like the Void Elves and the Nightborn, I think they're called. The other ones, I'm like, whatever. I kind of like female Draenei. They kind of look cool, but they still have like tails and goat feet, and that's just weird. But that's just me. I mean, I understand it's a fantasy game and there's fantasy races and fantasy creatures. And some people like the idea of being one of those fantasy creatures. What's up, Eric Nelson? But I don't really want to do that. I like to see Sarfang and Lorthamar as war chief. Yeah, I wonder how that's gonna all play out. I was a fan of Vol'jin, but he didn't last very long. That motherfucker fucked up when he made Sylvanas the war chief. And yeah. But the thing that's cool about this game is the character that you play is not really like loyal to their faction. They constantly help out other factions and constantly they basically will do anything for anyone that gives them loot and money. So your character is almost like a neutral party. And they sort of, your character sort of understands the bigger picture because because they're well traveled and they talk to so many people that by the end of the expansion, your character's like, well, there's like a big raid boss that we should probably be focusing on instead of fighting each other. What's up, Elias? But I don't even know what I'm gonna do in WoW. I probably just do world quests or something. Cause I'm not like I'm not even like geared for like heroics and stuff now. Cause I just focused on leveling up. I would stream League of Legends, but it's just really hard to concentrate on that game while you're streaming. And if you don't concentrate, you just lose. Those are like the main two games that I play right now. But as soon as I get a Switch, I will probably just only play Smash Brothers. I probably will still play WoW on the side, but I'm going to definitely focus on Smash and just play that for like the next like 3 years probably. That's what usually happens. I like always get the Nintendo console and pretty much I get it just for Smash Bros. Sometimes I'll get some other games, but mainly just play Smash. And I just play that for the next like 3 years and usually get decent at it. We'll see if I was thinking about getting back into the tournament scene, but I feel like I'm just too old now, maybe. Because I remember I used to go to Smash Bros. Tournaments, and there's just like a bunch of kids walking around. I'm like, I don't even really feel comfortable here. Are you going to finally move on from Melee? I mean, I've played every Smash Brothers game. I went hard on Brawl and Smash 4. How do you feel about the new Venom movie? I don't know. I mean, I'm generally excited to see it. But it's not one of those things where I'm confident that it will be good. Because it may very well not be good. I have this game I play called Read the Comments of Trump's Facebook and Drink. That seems like masochistic. Venom in Spider-Man 3 wasn't great. IMO. I think that's everybody's O. I don't think you're alone on that one. Rip your liver. Yeah, I don't like watching. I mean, maybe it's entertaining to you, but it would be depressing to me, and getting drunk while watching something depressing is usually not a good idea. I like to get drunk and watch funny stuff. Like watch like comedy YouTubers and stuff. I can't even think of comedy YouTubers that are active now that I like though. All the ones that I used to watch just stopped making videos. Gus Johnson and Nakey Jakey. I haven't even seen those people. Oh yeah, I haven't watched too much Donkey. I mean, he's doing his thing though. Yeah, I've never even seen this guy, Gus Johnson. Electric Lomain, thank you for 222. I'm out, T1J. This is a donation via my friends. You inspire us. Be easy. Be easy. I appreciate that. As always. Have a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna be leaving in about 15 minutes, I think. Oh, I think I have seen Nakey Jakey though. Like, I miss Community Channel. Why does she just randomly stop making videos? She like always like takes a break. She'll like be gone for like a year and then just come back as if nothing happened. And then she's like, I'm gonna start making videos again, and then she makes like 3 videos and then just leaves for another year. See, Donkey, I think Donkey's... He's at a point where I think his... I don't know, his channel sort of depends on him just making constant content. I think that's how he keeps his viewership up. And I'm sure he's making a shit ton of money. Like, that's so sick when every single video you make gets multiple millions of views. Like, that's so sick. I can't even imagine what that's like. See, when you're like a video game YouTuber like that, there's no shortage of potential content. Because really, basically what he does is he plays video games and just goofs off over top of it. Like, that's a very... simple system, but he's entertaining and he makes it work. I heard he got an apartment before the adpocalypse. He's getting more freaking uploads and less quality. Like his parody of This Is America was like 3 fucking minutes of, and him and saying this is a plane. I mean, do people still like it though? That's the thing. And that's one thing that I fear about when when anybody sort of blows up and becomes that big. It's hard to maintain an audience that big without sort of appealing to the lowest common denominator, or at least that's my theory. I mean, maybe it isn't for some people. What's up, Gabrielle? But, you know, the thing is, it's not like, I think any YouTuber would love to have millions of subscribers and millions of views. And usually you don't set out to say, like, I'm going to get 5 million subscribers. I mean, sometimes people do. But usually you just, like, want to make stuff and then people find it and people like it and then they click subscribe and then all of a sudden you're a big YouTuber. But when you're that big, I think you have to constantly figure out what to do to continuously keep people's attention. But you don't have to be that big in order to be successful, and that's the saving grace. You know, you could have just a couple 100,000 and still make a very decent living. Hank Green mentioned YouTuber burnout and how the site itself is in a lull because of it. Yeah, I mean, I could see that for sure. But at the same time, there's still a lot of people making really, really good stuff. But I can see that because YouTube sort of demands that people continuously upload content daily, basically. And it's just really hard to do that, especially if you are a one-man operation, as many YouTubers are. Just putting out new stuff every single day, it's like impossible to do without just exhausting yourself. I wouldn't even like want to do that, I don't think. Like, if I had more resources, I would love to make just like a well-produced, you know, thought out, 15 to 20 minute video every week. That would be great. But it takes a lot of work to produce a 15 to 20 minute video, especially when you're doing it by yourself. It's like doing something like that is just not possible without just working yourself to death. But I would love to do that one day where, if I could get a team together to help with the production, that'd be great. Speaking of YouTube, as someone who's uploaded videos and found how fascinating analytics are, have you seen anything in your analytics that surprised you? I don't know if anything was like too surprising. One thing that was interesting to me is my subscriber base has always been older. Like, I feel like most YouTubers, their subscriber base is young people, like teenagers basically. But my subscriber base has always mostly been older adults, like 20, 24 and up basically. There are some people that are younger, but the majority are people that are older adults, and I thought that was interesting. Another interesting thing is According to YouTube analytics, the vast majority of my viewers are men. However, most of my patrons, most people who buy merch, most people who just like actually engage beyond just watching the video are women. And that's something that's very interesting to me. I don't really know why, but it's a thing. I think Natalie's breathed life into a lot of communities. I mean, I wouldn't doubt it. For sure. What's up, William? Probably only gonna stream for about 10 more minutes, y'all. So sorry for people that came in kind of late, but we are pushing on that 2-hour mark. Which do you think is more likely, Idiocracy or Star Trek? I don't know, man. I think they're both very unlikely. Probably Star Trek. I don't know. I think that Idiocracy is just really incredibly cynical. Like, it's a good movie, but it's just like, I think it's like way too cynical. It's like, good God, people aren't that bad. The problem is there are some people that are that bad, but I think that they're in the minority. But historically, over time, I think the world gets better and people become more tolerant and more civilized over time. Sometimes we take a few steps backwards and sometimes we take a few steps forwards, but I think over time, in the long run, things get better. Do I still work a 9-to-5 gig? Nope. Every now and then I do like little side jobs just for a little extra cash. Like I have friends who do sort of like I have one friend who does like home improvement and remodeling and stuff, and I have another friend that's an electrician, and every now and then they just need an extra man to help them out, and I'll just do that for some extra cash. And I used to work like shifts, working door shifts at bars, like security, but I kind of stopped doing that. Well, I definitely stopped doing that because I don't know. It's just like it's very stressful because you have to deal with fucking drunk assholes all the time. It's easy. It's very easy. It's like super easy job. If any of you are like looking for a super fucking easy job, try to work security at a bar. But you just have to deal with douchebags every day. What's your favorite ice cream flavor? Cookies and cream. How tall are you? 6 foot even. Do you have a perp card? What is that? Oh, you mean a perk card? No, I don't. Achty. Thanks for coming to the stream. What am I watching right now? What would you recommend people watch? I don't watch much of anything. I just watch YouTube. So I'm not really the person to ask about watching stuff. And even on YouTube, I just watch a lot of esoteric, like, gaming stuff. I can tell you what I recommend you watch on YouTube. Watch L of the Mills. It's like the best channel on YouTube. Watch Captain Disillusion. Watch Brittany Simon. David Pakman show is pretty good. So that's what I've been watching. Long stream? I guess so. My streams are usually about 2 hours. I think that's a pretty decent amount of time. Do I watch Writing on Games? Is that the name of something? Oh, it is. I don't watch that. What is that?
Hi, I'm Hamish Block.
Oh, it's like video essays about video games. Seems cool. Yeah, Captain Disillusion is like too good. I'm glad that he's like finally getting some props. What's the worst channel on YouTube? I'm sure it's some no-name channel that no one's ever seen. Captain Disillusion is a really good example of what Skeptics YouTube could have been, but went alt-right instead. I think that's a pretty good point, actually. I think that a lot of those sort of like reactionary people started watching him because he got a big boost after he appeared on the H3H3 podcast, and you know they have a lot of those shitlords in their audience, and you know now every time he like makes a subtle comment about social issues or anything like that, there's always a bunch of like shitty comments in the comments, but it's usually pretty good. It's usually pretty okay. Minecraft Nazi 6969. I hope that's not a real channel. What's up, Myriad Charm? I'm leaving in a few minutes, but thanks for showing up. H3H3 reminds me of Joe Rogan in that they'll give a platform to anyone. It's too edgy for me personally. Yeah, I mean, I see what you mean. The problem... See, I don't really mind a show that... Like, I sort of get the idea of something like that. It's like, I'm just interested... Like, So I think the difference, and maybe I'm just biased because I'm a fan of Joe Rogan, but I think what Joe Rogan is doing is like, I just want to hear what people have to say. And he just kind of doesn't give a fuck who it is. He just like wants to hear what people have to say. And Joe Rogan, at least to his credit, like if someone says something like just completely ridiculous, he will usually say, like, confront them on it. Because Joe Rogan, he's a smart guy, and he knows a lot of stuff. I don't think that he is. I think he's often ill-equipped to have the conversations that he's having, but I think that he does know a lot of stuff, like more than people give him credit for. And I think that H3 does that to some extent, but I think a lot of times what he does is he sees something as like an opportunity to advance an agenda. And I don't think that Joe Rogan does that. But I think that H3 and other people like Sam Harris and Dave Rubin and some other people, they see these people that have these like controversial opinions, and they say like, oh, if I get them on the show, I can sort of advance this agenda where, you know, these group of people are like overreacting, or maybe there's something to this. And that's kind of, I feel like that's what's happening a lot of the time. Have you ever listened to the podcast Conversations with People Who Hate Me? It also lets people say their piece, but doesn't do so in a way that legitimizes their beliefs. Yeah, that's Dylan Marone, right? I've seen like one episode of that, or listened to one episode. Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big fan of Dylan Marone. I meant to listen to more of that, but I never did. I forgot that it exists. So thanks for reminding me. They're on season 2. I'm against his ideology of not giving people a platform. Don't patronize the world. People are smart enough to decide things. Ideas need to be challenged, not hidden away where they can ferment. I think that applies to 90% of things, but not all things. People are not smart enough to decide things, and this includes you and me. Humans are very, very easily influenced, and we all are subject to a host of biases, and people who are clever enough can get us to do and believe ridiculous things that we would have never otherwise believed. But in general, I think that's true. There are some ideas that seem easily debunked, but all it takes is one person to be exposed to the idea, and all of a sudden you've got a new psychopath in the world, or you've got a new potentially violent person in the world. Y'all know each other? And I think that there's a good way to platform ideas and a bad way to platform ideas. I think it, like, for people who are long-term watchers of Joe Rogan, I think that most people understand that when Joe Rogan has someone on his show, that he is not endorsing their ideas. He just wants to hear them and talk about them. But other people, I think the classic example is Dave Rubin. When he has people on his show, he literally just lets them say whatever they want and just kind of nods and smiles. So it really feels like he is endorsing their ideas. He is basically saying the world should hear these people. So, I mean, if it's done correctly, then I have less of a problem with it. But that's the thing. The whole concept of the marketplace ideas is a myth. The idea that good ideas naturally win is just wrong. It's just not true. Anyone who has ever been on a debate team in school knows that that's not true. Because when you're on a debate team, you normally have to be able to argue from both sides. So winning a debate has nothing to do with who has the best idea. It's about who is the most clever and the most persuasive. So if the person with the bad idea happens to be the most persuasive, then their idea is the one that's going to prevail in that situation. And that's why debating for debate's sake is wrong. Yeah, I mean, I agree. I think Joe Rogan is often ill-equipped to have the conversations that he's having, and I think that is, I mean, that's definitely a problem, especially to people who don't watch his show a lot. I think to people that watch his show a lot, they understand that everything should be taken with a grain of salt, and that it's like, you know. But he's still platforming these people, and he's still letting them say their piece, whether it's really shitty or not. So there's still an element of a problem there. And we see this with debates all of the time, whenever you have someone who's skilled and experienced with debate, and they debate someone who isn't, always it just looks like they get trounced, regardless of how good their ideas are. A very good example is the interview. I forgot the lady's name. The lady that interviewed Jordan Peterson, and it was just like a shit show. Kathy Newman, that's her name. So yeah, Jordan Peterson versus Kathy Newman. A lot of you have probably seen that debate. It was a disaster. And she came out looking like a fool at the end of it. Even though probably, at least for me, I probably agree with her more than I agree with Jordan Peterson. But she wasn't prepared for the debate, and she wasn't prepared for how quick-witted and clever Jordan Peterson is. So she ended up looking like she was wrong, even though she likely did not have worse ideas than Peterson. So that's sort of what I mean. So it's like her having Jordan Peterson on probably backfired for whatever she was trying to accomplish. So just platforming people just for the sake of doing it is not always the correct thing to do. Eric Andre demonstrated the idea of winning or losing social situations really well in his interviews. He controls the room, this massive apathy for everything. Yeah, that shit is like really cringeworthy. I can't watch Eric Andre. I think at this point I have completely gotten over. I'm just completely over Jordan Peterson. I gave him a lot of chances, and he just always goes off the deep end, and I'm always like, what in the fuck are you talking about, dude? But I'm gonna leave in like 3 minutes, y'all. So if y'all have one last question or comment, we can get that in there. Thanks for everyone coming to the stream as always. If you don't know, I stream every week. I guess for now it's solidly going to be every Monday. It's 4 p.m. here, and I usually start at 1 or 2 p.m. So if you're free around that time, come and hang out with me on Mondays. I just put out a recent video on my channel if you haven't seen that yet. Oh yeah, I might stream some World of Warcraft later if you're into that on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/the1janitor. You should follow. I will probably put an update on my channel, on my YouTube channel, and on my Twitter to let you know when I do go live. What server? I play on Dentarg. I have an Alliance and a Horde character. Probably gonna play. I think I'm gonna play my Horde character. I have a Blood Elf Paladin. I'm not even sure what I'm gonna do though. Probably just gonna fuck around. It may not be that interesting. I think I'm gonna just like. I might actually just like farm herbs and shit and do world quests. We'll see. I think we're friends on stream. I look like a rogue. Rogue is my favorite class in WoW, actually. But I know I'm gonna play WoW later, so I was like, I might as well stream it. But we'll see what happens. If any of you would like to support this channel in a more long-term way, consider donating a little bit every month on Patreon. That's basically the main thing that keeps this channel going. So that's really cool for those of you that want to do that. And there's a bunch of links in the description below the video. You can check all those out if you want. Thanks to the people that donated. I think it was all the same guy, but I appreciate the donations as always. And I guess that's about it. Yeah, there's nothing else in the chat for now. Well, too little, too late. Well, I guess that's it. Thank you for coming to my stream. As always, I will see you guys again next week. I have a new video. I'm actually gonna have a new video very soon, because I've already like finished the script for my next video, so I'm gonna go ahead and release it. So 2 videos very close to each other. That's pretty cool. Anyway, I'll see you guys next week. Bye.